What is up, guys? Eric here from BM Productions. Trying to record this video for the 10th time, literally. Alright. So, I'm here to document my Crohn's disease symptoms, a few of them off of the top of my head, because in light of the workout that I did on the 14th, I knew I was going to get a flare-up, and yeah, the problem with it is that it's not as bad as, okay, not the problem with it. The good good part of it is that it isn't as bad as I predicted, but it isn't any good. Let's say it like that. All right, let me go through it as fast as possible, and then I'll get into detail. I think list them and then get through them. All right. So first off, brain fog. You guys almost saw an example just now of that. Brain fog, swelling in the eyes. Focus. It will look like I have black eyes. That's actually how big my eyeball is swollen right now. Like I can't roll my finger down here without my eyeball literally popping out. Skin issues. My skin has been very bad the last while, and I'm currently as dry as hell, and it's not because of dehydration or anything. It's because the Crohn's disease is attacking my skin the last while. It's gotten better, really. I will have to say that it's gotten better, but still, severe pain everywhere. I get it literally everywhere. And I'll give more detail afterwards. Then, constipation and diarrhea. Not just have to run to the toilet every now and again. It's either I'm constipated for a super long time, because my Crohn's disease leans towards that, which means I'm constantly bloated and feeling heavy. I feel very heavy, in fact, and it leads me to not eating much. Next one, appetite. Appetite is destroyed. My appetite is all over the place. If I'm sick, I'm in two zones: eat too much and get sicker, or eat nothing and, well, eat a little bit and still get sick. Crazy amount of heartburn. I'm sitting here feeling like I'm being cooked from the inside out, and it's a different kind of heartburn, and medication for it does not freaking help. You have to get better. Joint pains, random body cramps and pains like the back, etc. Malabsorption, that means I eat but I don't absorb the food the way that you guys would, or the minerals or the vitamins, etc. All the natural stuff, the amino acids, etc. I don't absorb it the same way. My body likes to suck up one part a lot and then the rest just dump it, which means, in fact, I do not recover in time. Then I get insomnia, or I don't get insomnia, and I'm constantly tired and sleeping for a long time. Nausea, like the nausea has been coming and going the whole time. It's just like with cancer in that zone. What else? Headaches. I have a headache, and it's been 2 days now. It's the weirdest headache as well, and I drink pills, Panados, Accurates. These pills don't help. Even a migraine kit doesn't help. Sleep doesn't help. A lot of water doesn't help. All the typical stuff that helps with headaches. Not looking at screens doesn't help. What else? Oh, yeah, that's more of the biologics that I'm using. It gets flu-like symptoms. And yeah, that's another thing. The medications I use, it has so many side effects. You guys can go Google these things and go check the side effects for yourself out of interest, so that you can understand what somebody with severe Crohn's disease is going through. And even people with normal Crohn's disease or any other chronic illnesses, there's stuff that's happening to them sometimes that they don't even know. And that's something I kind of want to make a video about as well, but not today. What else? Bleeding from the inside. It happens every day when I go to the bathroom. Sorry if this is TMI, but this is more about a medical condition. It's not something I can help. It's not something to do with hygiene or anything like that. But bleeding from the inside is a constant problem with me, because on the inside of my intestines, it's like wounded. It's the best way to explain it. Now you get a whole heap of food, let's say bananas. So this is a bad example. Bananas. Now imagine, or let's say mince. We have mince tonight because we had pasta. Use mince. If you guys know how harsh and how hard to digest mincemeat is, beef mince if you guys are wondering, then you'll understand why people go for grass-fed beef to digest easier. The pros, especially in fighting, weightlifting, powerlifting, that's one of the best ways they want to eat their beef mince. It's not normal off the shelf ones. It's grass-fed beef. It's the best because your digestive system needs to be fully recovered for those guys to get the calories in to grow. And now imagine you have wounded intestines, like my knuckles there, destroyed. Like imagine the first part is like, yeah, imagine your intestines is rug burned. That's the best example actually. Then you force half a kilogram, or let's say, I don't know how much that is in ounces, but yeah, 500 plus grams of, because I eat a lot of mince, just for example. That, let's say I did fasted 16-8 fast, meaning I needed to eat big. So I eat half a kilogram, that means 500 grams of mince, for example. Now imagine that sharp, hard, rugged meat is getting thrust through literally essentially burn wounds or rug burn wounds. You would die if you rubbed that onto that wound, right? The pain would be insane. Well, that's what happens to me daily. It's like rubbing granules of rocks on top of destroyed intestine. And I can't stop it. It gets forced down all the way until it gets out. And in that time, the white blood cells pack up there and attack. Now, Crohn's disease rewires your white blood cells to attack your intestine because it thinks it's evil. And that means your intestines gets attacked. So the more damage you do, the more your intestines react, your white blood cells react in your immune system, and it attacks you continuously, meaning you get worse and worse. Now, okay, here's a comparison. I've had kidney stones. I've passed kidney stones because it was complicated. This is one of the complications I've gotten from Crohn's disease. Passing kidney stones is less painful than this. And passing, let's say, a less painful kidney stone, 3 to 5 millimeters in diameter, feels the same as me just existing every day or eating. Eating and then digesting. That's when my digestive system is doing its thing and it's trying to force that food through. And that's how it feels. It feels like when somebody's passing kidney stones. Now, most people don't have to work in those conditions of nausea, pain, tiredness, because you are so fatigued from this rubbish. And most people don't have to work with this stuff. They get sent home, obviously, or go to hospital for a week. Or this depends on how long it takes after they got the kidney stones, made them smaller. But most people can handle that. I have to live with that every day. And then I have to work. I have to do everything. So you can just imagine. There's another shopping list of symptoms, but I want to mention the most prominent ones, that I'm constantly tired. It feels like when you're on the verge of being out of breath, that's how I feel constantly. I feel weak, like lifting things, like a glass. Even now, the glass felt heavier than it is. That's when I'm in a flare. My skin is burning right now because the Crohn's has been attacking my skin. It feels like I have an allergic reaction in burning, that same sensation almost, constantly. I just ate, so that pushing of the meat and stuff through, the pasta, beef mince and pasta, that's happening right now, and it's making me nauseous, tired, giving me back pain, giving me neck pains. I have a constant headache right now. As you guys can see, I'm very pale because of the blood loss, because I'm losing blood constantly from this. That's why usually we get iron supplements, etc. for this condition. My eyes are so swollen, I can't read properly. And then lastly, the first thing I mentioned, the brain fog. I can't think straight. So in debates, all this kind of stuff, or predictions for fights or analysis, or even studying is so much harder. There's a bigger list of the stuff that I can mention and top off, but I'm not going to. I want to share my daily symptoms. The rest is there, but I'm not noticing them yet. And when I do, it's usually too late. This is why I'm not as active as I used to be. This is why I don't sound, when I talk to people, they don't understand. I'm trying to talk to them and be normal and fighting it. But I get so anxious, and sometimes the pain overwhelms so much that I can't even think straight. So I can't keep up normal conversations with people. I'm standing there just clenching my teeth and just suffering, shaking, like constantly. You guys can see. Yeah, that's from pain and anxiety. Like, yeah, because I can't be as social as I usually am, so I'm not used to people as much. And because I'm in pain, so much bloody pain constantly, I can't talk straight and think straight. And when it gets worse, because it does happen often when I'm out, for moments, as it goes like this, I will talk to you normally, and then suddenly the pain just hits, and I have to stop, and I have to stop, and I have to go rest. And usually, then I have to take a nap for like an hour, which sucks. I lose an hour of my daytime that I could have used for productivity and stuff, just because I got cursed. And this is my cross to bear. And it affects everything. And I knew when I was doing the weights, this is going to happen. So yeah, I decided to make a video about it. The thing is though, at least it wasn't as bad as I thought. And I'm going to juice one of these to help the flow. I'm going to say the flow, to help me empty the cartridge, because for some reason my Crohn's leans towards constipation. Constipation leads to feeling bloated and tired the whole time. You know, most when they say when you eat too much and you get sleepy, I get that feeling for hours, and then have to work through it without people giving a damn. So I wanted to share this because a lot of people have misconceptions about Crohn's disease. And the funny part is I'm not mentioning everything now. This is just the top of my head, off of the top of my head, and it's scary to think how much more there is, because I'm probably never going to get through a video explaining everything. And yeah, I'll share why my knuckles look like this. You can see there. Throughout the week, it's boxing and MMA related. And then, yeah, we have to wait because there's no MMA news until January, February. Unless we focus on other organizations and stuff. Might be the time to look into that. Might be the time to talk about techniques in MMA and boxing and stuff. Although I want to buy new boxing gloves to do something like that, and I have to be over a flare before that, which very frustrating. It annoys me. And the same thing happened when I fell fully out of remission, because people would want me to come to their social events, but I can't because I'm in a flare. Or the ex wants to be intimate. It doesn't happen because I can't. I don't have the energy. I feel like I'm gassing out just before I do anything. Or it hurts. It literally hurts because your intestines swell so much that they press up against your bones. So they're pressing against your backbones inside of you. It feels like somebody literally stuck me with a knife, like stabbed me with a knife. And then it's almost like the knife, the hole, is burning as well. And you can't do certain things when you feel like that. It's so much painful that you can't. And anybody who has kidney stones will tell you, you can't literally work. You can't work when that thing is moving. It's the worst pain for men. And I feel like that every day, all day. That's why it is so draining to do anything. I remember when I was at the MMA training session in 2023, early 2023. And I felt this way the whole time. Plus, back then I didn't have blood pressure medication. My blood pressure, which was also affected by the Crohn's, and the pain was at 180s without me being active. So I remember I felt like my head was going to explode the whole time. And probably looking back, it was very dangerous. So I feel like I'm gassing. I have no power in my body. I'm in so much bloody pain without somebody hitting me or wrestling me to the ground, or trying to, sorry, I'm not going to lie. I think only one guy that did compete overseas took me down. The other drills were, okay, wait, two. My buddy, Christu, if he ever watches this, he will know. He got me down, I remember, in one of the drills. But you understand, it's something that doesn't happen too often, but that kind of activity, it was horrible to do. I was so handicapped because wasn't fit. The pain, didn't have the pain medications and stuff that I have now. Brain fog, and then the blood pressure. Jeez, so bad. All of this rubbish. And now I have to fight somebody essentially in sparring, and with wrestling slash jiu-jitsu, I have to roll with them. And I remember at that point, I noticed I've lost the calmness, so that I don't use too much muscle and strength. I didn't flow, and that's how you should do jiu-jitsu. You shouldn't be too tight and stuff, because your muscles will drain really quick, and your gas tank. It's something you need to learn, and it's hard to learn unless you practice on your own, which at that point I haven't done it for a year. So yeah, gonna say goodbye, guys. I just wanted to mention a few of the symptoms, and if you guys are wondering why my prediction rates are low in MMA, it's because of the brain fog. If I debate with people, if my logic is just weird, or if I forget certain things, because people gun me or go at me because I forget small details, and it's like, really, it was not on purpose. It's not me being incompetent on purpose. And it's funny because in 2022, 2021, when I used to debate people, I was never this negligent on certain stuff or incompetent. But now people are using it to their advantage, or they're just thinking, oh, this dude didn't know as much as we think. Meanwhile, later I mention that thing and then tell them, listen, I remember this and that. It's just, yeah. And I can't explain that in the middle of a debate. It doesn't count. People won't care. So yeah, just wanted to share this, how post-workout flare affects me, and why I'm working slower, or stuff like that. You understand? Just things to keep into account. I always say there's a difference between excuses and circumstances. And the reason why I'm saying that is, excuses is just like, oh, I did bad because of that all the time. With me, I explain it and I've improved on it. And that means I'm mentioning it so I can work on it. That's the better mentality to have. It's like, you need to be honest with yourself. When you're doing one of the lifts, like me with the deadlift, my form wasn't perfect, but I didn't really focus on just going through the checklist of what I should do. And that's fine. When you're sparring and stuff, you need to be honest with yourself. When you're fighting people, you need to be very honest with yourself. In the video I'm going to share, and videos I'm going to share over time, you guys will see me not bringing the hand back in time, letting the jab linger too low, and stuff like that. It's stuff I know I can get away with, because usually I'm a bit quicker than most people. So it's stuff bad habits I built up in this time frame when I was sick. So when I was shadowboxing and stuff, when I felt the strength for it, it's a bad habit that I picked up. And see, I'm being honest with you, it doesn't mean it's an excuse. It means something I know I'm going to have to work on, and I will. Because there was a time where I never let this kind of stuff slide. But see, it's an example. So if I lose a fight because I drop my hands, I'll tell people I lost just because I dropped my hands. And it will be frustrating because I know where my mistake lies. Difference is, next time you guys see me working this or fighting, etc., I won't do that mistake. And the fun part is, me pointing out that I made a mistake is me admitting it. It's not me saying, oh, that guy's worse than me. And that's why the only reason he's won is because I dropped my hands. Which is an argument that somebody can make, but generally they know. It's just they made a mistake, they need to fix that mistake, and then they need to rematch that person, if it even happens ever. And then we see. That's when we see. Great example is Michael Chandler versus Charles Oliveira. If he lifted his right hand just a slight bit more, he might not have been knocked out instantly by Oliveira in round 2. But yeah, difference between him and me is like, I think he worked on a lot of stuff that he shouldn't have worked on instead of working on basic defense. But anyway, that's a conversation for another time. Cheers, guys.